A strange story out of Texas yesterday as the Federal Aviation Administration briefly shut down the airspace above El Paso International Airport. That initial order from the FAA came in just before midnight local time and on Tuesday and demanded air traffic in the space be shut down for 10 days.
But the agency then reversed its decision completely just 7 hours later and lifted all the restrictions. Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy stated that Mexican cartel drones were to blame for the closure, writing on X, quote, "The FAA and Department of War acted swiftly to address a cartel drone incursion. The threat has been neutralized and there is no danger to commercial travel in the region. The restrictions have been lifted and normal flights are resuming." In a press conference on Wednesday, the mayor of El Paso expressed outrage that the city was not made aware of what was happening during the ordeal. Take a look.
I want to be very, very clear that this should have never happened. You cannot restrict airspace over a major city without coordinating with the city, the airport, the hospitals, the community leadership. That failure to communicate is unacceptable.
More details on the incident came out later Wednesday evening, including some conflicting reports on what actually led to the closure. Multiple news outlets have reported it stemmed from the Pentagon's plans to test a laser used for shooting down drones rather than a drone actually breaching U.S. airspace. A report from The Hill reads, a Trump administration official told The Hill the closures were due to Mexican cartel drones breaching the U.S. airspace, but multiple reports Wednesday indicate that the brief closure resulted from the Defense Department testing a new anti-drone technology near Fort Bliss, a U.S. Army base close to El Paso, which was over the objections of the FAA.
I mean, naturally, people are going to be nervous about this. Shutting down an airport or anything airspace for 10 days is the kind of response that we gave to 9/11. And so people, local officials, there was even a guy named Chris Canales, who's the city representative in El Paso. He said he had no communication and they could lose millions of dollars. So that, not even just about the money, unless it's an imminent threat for the city to go through that much financial trauma that would happen after shutting down completely airspace for 10 days. You need to let someone know as you're having this coordination.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless it's a dramatic imminent attack.
Sure. It seems pretty rude, if nothing else, not to notify the local authorities of what you're doing, which, given that they didn't notify them, seems, I don't know that I buy this excuse that it was a cartel drone incursion. The testing the laser seems a little bit more likely to me, frankly.
Also, people are naturally going to be fearful and nervous to get on a plane. Imagine if you were flying out of El Paso Airport. I would be like, are you sure it's good? Because to go from 10 days to 7 hours is dramatically different. Like even the same day reopening. I mean, I'd be happy that I'm able to get in and out, but at the same time, like, what was the issue? Because are you positive? Like, it just seems that type of call, not just like, hey, we're temporarily shutting down the airport. A lot of people have delays at the airport. 10 days was immediately said by leadership. And so that, to me, is scary. And people, we're very vague with this administration on giving answers and understanding. And I think that has to really change because transparency is kind of part of the thing that Trump ran on.
Yeah, it can be very disruptive, obviously, to lose the air. It's not just like, oh, well, sorry, you can't go on your vacation. I mean, they'll use that to transport people for medical reasons and urgent kind of things. So it seems a little shady to have done that.
Yes.
You ever seen the movie No Country for Old Men?
I haven't. I know I'm probably the only one who hasn't
One
seen
of my
it.
favorite movies. There's a funny line in that movie about El Paso. The grandmother character is being moved to El Paso against her will, and she says, "You know how many people I know in El Paso? That's how many." My favorite line.
Now El Paso made it on the map. Well, the Justice Department has failed to secure a grand jury indictment over those 6 Democrats telling service members to reject illegal orders. I'll have more on that in my lens.